Okay, a lot of you guys might have, or your girls might have dual monitors like I do, and a lot of times you want to use different applications on different monitors. So today we're going to cover how to do that in Windows 8. So first to do that, we're going to revisit Windows 7 screen management a little bit when you have dual monitors. Now this is a screen capture of both monitors at the same time. As you can see, we have the slightly smaller monitor on the right, and we have the main monitor on the left, and there's the start menu. And as we go over here to the main screen, we can go ahead and click on programs to launch them. And depending upon where they're at, they'll launch in that area in the main screen, or over here like this one did in the other screen. So we're going to launch a couple more applications here. We're going to move things around so we can see how you manage your real estate in Windows 7. I'm launching QuickBooks here with a sample company file. And as you can see, we can move stuff around here between screens. We can do different things. We can work over here while we have something open over there. We can bring up Internet Explorer. Uh, you know what? We'll go to a more interesting site. We'll go to my blog site here, and we'll go there. And now we'll move this entire Internet Explorer window over here. Placed over there. As a matter of fact, I'll lock it to the right-hand side over here. Now you can't lock when you have dual monitors. You can't push it over there, so you have to sort of size this in order to split the screen over there. You have to manually set them up to do so, rather than the drag against the side of the screen. So then we still have our other application over here. We'll go ahead and let's launch at least one more thing. We'll go over here, and we'll launch on some solitaire. And again, those can go over here. Move it between screens. You can have stuff displayed between screens. You can move this over here, and now we have multiple applications working in Windows 7.1. Now things are a little different. Here's the same exact computer, but booted to Windows 8 with dual screens. As you can see over here, we have the dual screens, slightly different in size, different monitor sizes by like 2 inches or something like that. Now you would expect the start menu maybe to slide over into the other screen, but again, just like the start menu on Windows 7, it doesn't. It slides only within the first screen, even though you would think maybe it would, but it's really because you want to use it. Now I've clicked on the right-hand screen, and you see that the start menu can actually move to different places. The only reason the desktop came up, by the way, is because I already had it open, and normally it would be simply a blue screen on the other side. Uh, so now we're going to go ahead and launch some of these apps and see what we can do. So we're going to launch a bunch of apps here just to get them going. We're going to bring up the news app over here, and then we're going to go tuck this away over here, and we'll come down here and we'll launch on by the way, you can launch from over here and it'll open up over in this window. That's a feature that you don't have in Windows 7, or the start screen can move to different places. They come over here to finance. We'll open that one up. We have 4 applications running. The desktop is an application, by the way, in this particular context. One more here. Get a couple more. And lastly, we got 5 here. So let's go back over here and bring up Internet Explorer. Let's go ahead and click on that and bring that up. And now we have Internet Explorer launched over here. Well, now that we have all those running, what are we going to do with them? Well, we're going to do just like we did Windows 7. We're going to have a bunch of them running so we can view some of them at the same time, except in overlapping Windows 8 apps snap to different sections. And then we can also use the desktop, so we're going to look at that. As I click over here and I move it over here, you'll see that we can grab any one of these and just click on it. And wherever the screen has focus, it'll go to. If I and I can also use Alt-Tab, by the way, to switch between applications and even the desktop. So I can sit there and say, oh, I want to go over here and put it over there. Or I can have the full desktop showing both screens. That's the extended screen for the desktop. So I can do that. I can switch things in and out as much as I want. So let's organize them a little bit more rationally. Let's go over here and I say, okay, I want to grab one of these. So besides just switching them out, I just dragged it, and it'll do the split screen thing where you get different screens. I can grab another one. I can place it on the second monitor in split screen mode, so now I have 4 sections. I'll fill that up there. Now I have 4 different sections here, equally spaced, and of course I can adjust their sizes. But let's go up to another one. If I bring it, well, let's click on it. Now, as you may know, that it asks you where you want to go in Windows 8.1, and you can slide it around, and you notice something going on here. And what that is that if you have a high enough resolution monitor, you can drop in a 3rd section in. Monitors over 1600 width can do that. Mine's are 1900, so I can have 3 sections on each desktop or each monitor, a total of 6 applications showing at the same time. So now I can sit there and play with one. For example, Bing Finance, I go through it, take a look at what's going on. I can scroll around. I can see, oh, I can go read articles, for example. So if we click on an article, what's good about the Bing applications is that they'll resize automatically. And people are writing new Windows 8 applications are doing this correctly too, but you'll see the arrow key here. Or you can flick it with your finger if you're doing touch. And you can flip between applications or the pages of the story without messing things up. I can click over here and go to the desktop and bring up the desktop over here. I can split the desktop, but I cannot move it to the other pane. It won't slide because the left-hand side of the desktop always stays over there. If I close these down over here and I have to start, I click on desktop over here, I end up with the full desktop again. Again, the menu and the desktop is completely different. It can't occupy just as, both spaces. So let's bring up an application like we did before. Here's the file manager, for example, on the desktop, and I can have it over there. So now I'm bringing up another application called, this is just a fan management called Speed Fan, just to show you another Windows application. I can have that over there running over there at the same time. So what does that mean? Well, it means that I can have multiple Windows applications or multiple Windows 8 applications running at the same time. Again, I'm going to bring up QuickBooks again. It's going to come up over here and go through a little configuration here. Let me get rid of some of this stuff. Some of these prompts and warnings, and close the help file. One more. And you can see we close the help file, and here we have the same application that we had before in desktop mode running Windows 8 over there, and we have 2 different screens. We can put it on either side. So the same functionality exists in Windows 8, of course, for Windows applications. But again, we're talking about much more than that. We're going to go back to the start screen. We're going to go ahead and grab another application. Now, if you notice here, there's 3 panes showing right here. Now, watch what happens when I click on this 3 panes. We have that over there. We come over here. We click on 3 panes. And it doesn't bring up any one of those applications. It brings up all 3 just where you left off. This is a very exciting feature here as far as I'm concerned, because I don't have to remanage my workspace. My workspace is saved. I have it right there. Last time I can hide it, do something else there, bring back that exact 3 applications that I have set up. I can have my Windows application in the other screen. I can do so many things with this, the way this is working here. So I can have recap one more time. I can have up to 6 different panes if you have a higher resolution monitor, a second monitor as well. I can bring up a browser over here. I have a DOS. If you notice, I have some big applications in the middle here, and I have the File Explorer, Internet Explorer here. But if I want to, if I say View and Desktop over here, it brings back the desktop, puts it over here with the desktop applications. I have 2 desktop applications running at the same time in different windows, full screen, just like you used to do. Again, the only real difference between Windows 7 and Windows 8 as far as visually in the start menu, and I don't know why all the hype about it, is that the start button becomes this big start menu on your start screen, and you can have use of all this area here to control all your stuff. And again, if you want to drop stuff in, you move it around. You just configure this the way you want. It's very flexible and very exciting. So I check it out, especially if Windows 8, how to manage your split screens. But it's amazing that you can have 6, 8, or 6, 2, 4. You can have 8 if you're running multiple Windows 8 apps and Windows regular Windows apps. You can have as many applications you want, and it's much more easier to configure and manage and slide around. Play with it, have fun with it, and enjoy Windows 8.1. And don't forget to subscribe to Old Guy Geek. Have over 150 Windows, Windows 8, and Windows Phone 8 videos, and adding more every day.